Alright, so I got an invite from Blizzard Entertainment to try out one of their newest game, Heroes of the Storm. And I used to play quite a bit of StarCraft 2, and I used to play a lot of Dota 1 back in Warcraft 3 modification. And at the moment, I'm playing Dota 2, so I'm quite excited to see how this game, this new mobile game, is about and stuff like that. Now, keep that in mind that I only play Dota 2 as my mobile game, so I can only compare between this Heroes of the Storm mobile game and Dota 2 because I haven't played any other mobile game, so I can't really comment on the differences between this game and other games. So I can only compare between Heroes of the Storm and Dota 2. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Now I know that some people may be like, oh, you shouldn't compare between Dota 2 and Heroes of the Storm because they are two different games. But hey, um, I only play Dota 2, so I can't really say much about other games and compare to this. Alright, so the first thing first I noticed about this game is that in Dota 2, my experience that I had in Dota 2 is that every time that you see a creep, you need to kill them. So like you are forced to last hit them so you can get the gold and to get the experience so that you can purchase the items that can enhance your hero abilities and to deal more damage to gain advantage against your enemies. But now in this game, the biggest difference between Dota and this game is that you don't really need to last hit in this game. I mean, like there's no gold, there's no shop for you to purchase or anything like that at all. You only they will give you a passive skill set for you to choose whenever you start leveling up, and then after that you use this action skill set that you already had in your slot skills to deal damage to the other team, and that's about it. Compared to Dota 2, there are many ways that you can deal damage to the game. You can even deal damage in to the enemy in Dota 2 using your skill. Using your item. Say for example, Dagon. You use Dagon and you deal magic damage to the enemy team, but in here you can use any item because there's not. So that's the biggest difference that I find, because there's no cash shop, so you can purchase any item. So you are forced to use your skill set, and you are forced to use your passive skill set. Now the skill set in this game is you cannot level them. Compared to Dota, the action skills slot you can level them. Say for example, let me just think. Dragon Knight ultimate skill, you can which turns him into a dragon. So in Dota 2, the more you level up, the more that you have more points that you can level the Dragon Knight from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, and each level he has a different form of the dragon. But in here, the action skill slot, it doesn't have anything at all. So you are forced to use whatever they're giving you, like no changes to anything like that at all. However, there's one way that you can improve that, which is the talent. Now the talent is from what that I can understand is that this is a passive skill that you can improve. So for example, when I play Nova, say my range attack is only 0.5 range, and when I choose the passive skill set that allow me to hit a little bit further, it will be 0.75. so that's 0.25 difference between not leveling up and leveling up. So yeah, like you can level your passive skill, but you cannot level your action skill slot. Compare that to Dota 2, you can level your action skill slot. You can also level your passive skill slot, which is increase your stat into strength, agility, and intelligence. Depending on which hero you are, you can deal more damage or have more agility and stuff like that. So which is interesting in my opinion. Different games should have different way of playing. They shouldn't copy each other. They can borrow some of the ideas, but if they keep on borrowing, what's the point of playing different games? Now the second thing, which is I find it really fun, is the camp, neutral camp. Now this remind me a lot in Warcraft 3. Now in Warcraft 3, when you use your hero or when you use your unit, and when you use your party, and then you start going to the neutral camp and then start attacking it. After you are attacking the neutral camp and kill them, you have the ability to purchase some of the items, or you can purchase the neutral hero or units from that neutral camp, which I find that resemblant a lot in a sense in Heroes of the Storm. Now you cannot use I mean, like, you cannot kill the neutral camp unit and then take control of them. Instead, they will be under your command to attack the enemy's team. So for example, in this video, that there are four, actually there are, I think there's about 4 on each side, so that's about 8 in total. So as soon as you take control of the unit camp, the neutral unit camps, they will start to follow you and then start attacking the enemy teams, and there's an advantage for the neutral camp because they have a very long range attack. They resemble a lot. They have an orc resemblance from the orc magi in one of the heroes, neutral camp hero back in the Warcraft 3, and so they can use their range attack to attack tower, and they deal a lot of damage as well. So I think that for Warcraft 3, former Warcraft 3 player like myself, I enjoyed it very much. And the second thing is that you have 2 mini boss neutral camps, what I call it, because this is my first playthrough, so I didn't play it before, so I really have no idea what is the proper term for this. It's similar to Roshan in Dota 2. Roshan in Dota 2, when you kill Roshan, you have a token which allow you to resurrect when you die after being killed by the hero enemy, and so you can get back into the game and start fighting again. Now the mini boss camp, there are 2 of them in the game. In this map in particular, because I know that there are quite a few maps in Heroes of the Storm. So in this map there are 2 mini boss camps that you can go for, and then after you kill them, you can collect the tokens from the mini boss camps, and you can use that tokens to summon a big monster to win against the other enemy teams. So yeah, this can be a game changer as well, because the monster is quite strong, and so it requires quite a few heroes to to coordinate and try to kill it. And what else? Oh yeah, regeneration. Now in Dota 2, at the first game, you are like in the early game, you are forced to buy some of the regeneration item, like to stay longer in the lane. Now in here, you don't necessarily have to buy a lot of regeneration item. I mean, like, there's none to buy, so yeah. But the regeneration itself is quite high, and that is the biggest difference that I find, one of the biggest difference that I find between this and Dota 2, because that means I can stay in a lane longer without having to go back into the base to regenerate myself a lot. I can just like hang around and then try to regenerate myself in the middle of the combat, or just stay away from the combat for a little bit, and then after that just go back in. Compare this to Dota 2, you are forced to rely on your items to regenerate, and that is quite unique as well, because without relying on your item, you are freely to use your, like, you can see more, and then you can use your ability, and then try to see the situation itself. Compared this to Dota 2, when you are forced, because there are quite a few more keys that you need to press to cast the skill and stuff like that, and you have to also press more keys for your items to cast as well. So when you rely on your items like that, some people they might not have the ability to multitask that well, so that may be a disadvantage to for them. I mean, I know that practice make you perfect, but the thing is that this one is more casual friendly from what I can tell, from what I can see. This one that's more casual friendly compared to Dota, that need to micro faster. So like, so yeah, keep that in mind that this is my very personal opinion, so some people might disagree with it. That's fine, because that's them, and my opinion is very different from them. And another thing is that I find is that without relying on your items, you can change the game significantly in the late game. Now in the late game in Dota, if your team don't have a lot of solid items to survive and then deal damage, you have a very low chance to win against the enemy teams. Now if the enemy team is farm, which is basically a key term for like having enough money to purchase the item and stuff like that. So if the enemy team is farm, they have a like more advantage than you, because they have a like stronger item, more survival and more damage compared to you. If you don't farm enough, you don't have the ability to to survive against their attack and stuff like that. So in Dota 2, in the mid game and late game, the damage dealer, which is the carry, they have to farm a lot for their item, so that in the mid game, in the late game, they can win against the enemy team. They dominate the enemy teams. But in here, you are not relying in any items, because there's none to buy. So you are relying on your skill a lot to win against the enemy teams, and it can be a game changer as well. But keep that in mind that this game is still in alpha. So from now on until beta, there will be a lot of changes, and from beta to the official release, there will be a lot more changes. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I know that some people from the US, they received the invitation to try out this game before the rest of the world. But the thing is that they're living in the US, so like Blizzard is a US company, so like they give out to the US people first before they give out to the rest of the global market. So I just got this game for the global market, so which is nice, because I always wanted to try out something different from Dota 2. I mean, like I heard about League of Legends, but I mean, like when I look at the graphics and like when I look at the combat and stuff like that, it's not really my thing. So I give it a pass. But I did try again. I did try one game for League of Legends, but I didn't really like it. So I didn't go back and start playing it. But this one I find it really interesting. Heroes of the Storm, even though it's in alpha, I find it really interesting, and encourage me to give it a try once it's going to beta stage and official release. Oh, and another thing that I forgot to mention is that when you finish a game, you have the gold and you have the skill experience that you will receive from playing a game, and then you can use those to purchase items, I mean like domestic items, and you can use your experience to unlock your skill. Now before you go into your before you start playing the game, you have to think on which skill, which build you want to go for, and depending on the skill set and depending on the build, you can be like the game can change significantly. So just keep that in mind. Like when I level up for my Nova character, there are two classes of skill that I can choose. I can either going for a long range attack, or I can also regenerate my character in the stealth environment. So it can be either survival or more damage. So it's very what do you call it? Very flexible in the game. So you can choose to play this style, or you can choose to play different style depending on how the game goes. But I haven't really, because this is my first playthrough, so I haven't tried out all of the different builds, so I can't really comment on that. But overall, in this video, I would like to say that Heroes of the Storm is quite a fun game. And so if you receive an invitation from Blizzard Entertainment, and if you want to play together, feel free to contact me using the YouTube message system. I'll check it out. I'll have a look at it, and I'll send you my friend request, and we can play together. Alright, so that's pretty much cover for what I have to say in this video for my first experience with Heroes of the Storm. So yeah, I will see you later. And if you want to play with me, we can form a team and see how it goes throughout the development stage, and then going through the beta stage and stuff like that. Feel free to send me a message, and yeah, we start going from there. Alright, so have fun, and I will see you later.
Mayhem. On the move. I'll make it happen.
Your enemy's terror blooms!
Executing. We should take this mercenary camp.
Your enemy's terror has withered away.
I'll make it happen.
Choose attack. Such a weak flesh. pleasure to be here.
Advancing on target. Yeah, I like that.
Destroy this fort. Destroy this
I'll give it a try. Executing. Advancing on target.
Let's smash this fort.
Terminate this hero. Ghost reported. Loud and clear.
Double kill. You have been outmatched.
Anyone up for destroying this fort? I'll make it happen. Advancing on target.
Just was getting you.
Defend this fort.
Yeah, I like that. On the offensive.
Slaughter them all! Take back my seeds!
Acknowledged. Advancing on target.
Did that hero abandon the battle?
Advancing on target.
Seeds to my soul and drink your enemy's terror! My plans will revive you. Your enemy spawns a terror!
Destroy.
Rise by terror! Suck the life from your enemies!
Friends, let us attack the enemy's core.
Ghost reporting. Strictly business. Initiating assault.
I see you survived another night. How wonderful for you. Such a weak flesh.
I'll give it a shot. Strictly business.
Well done. Your enemy's terror could really
Engaging hostile.
Your terror has keep destroyed. My plans run. That seems personal.
Now who's a ghost? I'll make it happen.
Work on your form.
Killing spree.
Advancing on target.
You enjoy that.
On. Anyone up for destroying this fort? On the offensive. Anyone up for destroying this fort?
live to see my garden renderings flow.
Initiating assault. Strictly forward.
Double kill.
On the move.
Triple kill.
Engaging hostile.
Mayhem.
Loud and clear. Engaging hostile. Yeah, I like that. Preparing to terminate.
Finally, you have enough seeds. Come, become the bride of my garden. Raise my terror. Sap the life from your enemies.
I like that.
I approve.
Yeah, I like that. Engaging hostile. I'll make it happen.
The sun dawns. My children must sleep. For now.